Are you kidding me? Hey all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I'm a 5th year, 3rd grade teacher in North Carolina. Yes, I did get my hair cut, you can't tell, but the ends are no longer dead. Hip hip hooray. So that's a plus. Today was our first day back with full class size. So as you can see behind me, their desks are spread out as much as they can be. And I had 19 students in the classroom today, and I thought I would be, I think, more overwhelmed than I was. It wasn't terrible because I think it was helpful that I've been with each group in a smaller setting because they did so well today. I had 3 new students, which they did very well for the rest of the students being comfortable being here. So that went good. It took a little bit of organizing in the morning. I had to show them where to put their bags now that everyone's here, how we're doing our Chromebooks in the morning. We had to go through our morning work, our agenda. So just a lot of procedures and expectations. And I'm just ready to get those out of the way. I mean, we are through first quarter. This is second quarter. It's weird that we're starting this now. I do feel like I am raising my voice a lot because of my mask. So I feel very hoarse and that is uncomfortable. But I am making it through. For the most part, I mean, the day went how I thought it would. I took my time with my procedures and expectations and didn't rush and got through whatever I could. We did reading, we did math. However, we didn't do any reading centers I planned. We didn't do any math centers I planned. I didn't do any intervention groups at all. We didn't do writing, we didn't do social studies. So, yes. The morning, it just took a while because since we've been doing A-B schedule, there were a few kids that I don't think realized we had school today. So I had to make some phone calls. And so getting the new kids unpacked and just situated took some time, but that's done. I'm so glad to be done with that. I'm so glad that I don't have to do that another day like I had been doing with A and B. So tomorrow will be a packed day. However, we do have enrichment for majority of the end of the day, which is not the greatest. I'll probably teach the social studies lesson for today after lunch tomorrow instead of doing intervention groups, just so I could stay caught up. But let me show you our schedule because I put up our schedule cards. So if you missed my previous video, go ahead and click here because I mentioned these. I'm going to eventually put these in my TPT store. I think I might have to put it without the background though, because that was from Google. But let me show you. Here is our schedule. Now, I didn't put a little clock next to guided reading and power hour just because we are not sticking to a schedule with those just yet. I don't even think I'll get to guided reading tomorrow, but I love the way it looks. So, so cute. My power hour is my math centers if you're new here. Rhyme is our intervention time, enrichment time, and then enrichment is like our actual specials, like art, music, PE. I have to check what we have tomorrow. And so I did the little analog clocks since the clocks are still a part of our standard, and I just thought it was different. And then I just have this magnetic little thing from Target with all of the other schedule cards, and then the clocks are down here as well. So I just put one little tiny magnet in the back. Actually, let me show you. These were the only magnets that I found at Michael's. They were like $3.99 for a pack of 24, so I used them sparingly. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the schedule here or put it on this side, but we will see. I do have a newsletter up, so I always have that there. And then we started division today. So that is what is going on here, but I love the way that looks. I did put all my kids' names on magnets down on this board down here to do something with lunch count, but that's a work in progress. This is the morning work we're doing. I did purchase this book from Amazon. I talked about it in one of my Instagram lives. It's just the Carson DeLosa Math 4, the number 4 today. And it has the 4 days, and then on Friday it is an assessment. So I have to figure out, I guess, if I want my kids to do day 3 Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday, and then I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll have them do 1 extra question every day or something, since Wednesday is our remote day. So I just have that ready to go tomorrow. I am going over it this week, but I think in the future I'm not. When I've used this in the past, I collected it every day and checked it over, and that's how I created my students' IME groups, which is our rhyme time. So like this is complete spiral. So if they're not getting questions right, I would have them work on those IXL skills, or I would post in Google Classroom videos for those standards. And so this was just a super quick way to see what math skills they were struggling with the most. They do have a reading one. It is more language based, but I do have that one too. So I'm going to use that one in a couple weeks. I'll introduce it. But I do love my tape lines that I have. I say desk check and the kids just fix their desks. We did leave in a bit of a hurry, so chairs are not pushed in and whatnot, but that is that. I don't have any anchor charts going on back there. I need to get started with that, but slow and steady. So I'm gonna head out for the day, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Hey y'all, it is 6 o'clock on Tuesday and I need to get out of here, but I have just been filming videos for my remote day tomorrow. I just don't want my students to fall behind, and I'd rather take advantage of knowing that they'll sit there and watch me and be able to focus, because they have done so well with that the past few times I've done that. So I filmed a reading lesson, I filmed a review, a refresh of how they're supposed to do their vocabulary, especially because I have 3 new students. And then I filmed going over a few of our graphing problems, because we kind of are like weaving graphing in and just skipping past it because we're trying to get caught up with pacing. And so they're basically just doing a bunch of graphing problems tomorrow, and I've literally only done 1 bar graph with them, and it was rushed, and so I just want them to be able to focus on that. So I've been filming my videos through Zoom because it just records it right away, and it's easy for me to flip back and forth on my screens. So these are just SchoolNet passages or questions. This is the program that we use to make our tests, and I walk them through how I like them to show their work. I have extremely high expectations for my students, but this is how I truly get them to be successful. I talk about how even though it's a silly problem, 10 minus 4, I still want them to write it down, and I still want them to use cubes and find those math words and label everything, because a simple problem is where they can make silly mistakes. So I walked them through my expectations for a couple of them, so hopefully that will help them out when they complete this. And then we would have done 4 together, so it takes some of the load of work off of them. They're also doing their morning work on here. I read Bad Case of the Stripes because we were pulling out some words to do context clues with. And then I just really made sure their social studies was set. We haven't been able to start in class yet, so I posted a YouTube video talking about 3 branches of government. I posted a ReadWorks article talking about 3 branches of government, which they could read, but they can also play, and it has comprehension questions afterwards, so then I can see that they've completed it and they have to submit that. And then there's a seesaw assignment where there's more reading about each branch, and then they have to sort some things. So many different ways for them to get the information and different ways to understand it, to hopefully hit multiple learning styles and kind of front load them for when we start social studies on Thursday. That way I won't feel like I'm as far behind. I'll definitely be behind I'll definitely be behind at least one day, but I think I can catch up eventually, because what I found out is I have been taking the time to keep my kids organized. I see some trash on the floor from lunch. I need to pick that up. I've been taking the time to keep my kids organized and to make sure I got all my new kids logged into every website that we're using. And I mean, that's took up time in my day. So I'm was only able to get to reading and math, and not as much as I would have liked to, but I have accomplished those things. What I was saying before I got distracted is my coworkers have been so focused on teaching, they're not doing the little things. So it's kind of like we're doing the opposite, and they're like, now we need to plan less so we can have a day where we can organize our students. And I'm like, oh, well, I've already been doing that, and that's the reason I'm behind now. But it's fine. I'm very, very happy where I'm at. Having all of the kids here is so much different and so much more just like, it's so nice to know that they're getting the same information every day and I don't have to do it twice. And I'm just really, really happy about that. It's been going really well. My new students are fitting right in and I'm really happy. I was giving positive points away like no tomorrow. I haven't started negative points yet, but I am giving reminders and like pointing out scenarios. I would say, oh, you called out, that would be a point down. Just keep that in mind, because we're trying to work towards not getting points down. I'm like, before, when there was only 8 of you in the classroom, I let you guys talk a lot more and I let you call out a lot more. But now that there's 19 of you at once, calling out doesn't really work. So we've been really, really working on that. I've been focusing on that positive reinforcement and just taking the time to give those reminders, because that's the only way to keep them on track. And being repetitive and redundant, and it's annoying, and it's, I feel like I'm saying so much, but that's when you know that it's good, when you're doing it so often that it annoys yourself. But hopefully being redundant now will save me in the long run. It's so weird to me that we're already in second quarter, because I love this group of kiddos and I just want to get into a smooth routine. I want to be able to do centers with them. I want to pull them for small group. I want to do all the fun things, because I feel like we're sitting at our seats so much and I'm just talking to them and like lecturing, and I just want to just get to the place where I'm not doing that anymore. But I've really been focused on my expectations and they're doing an awesome job. So we will keep that up. But I'm gonna head out. My classroom's a little bit messy, but I'm okay with that because I have tomorrow is our planning day. So I'll clean it up in the morning and then we will move from there. My kids have been reading like no tomorrow. Like, they're not just putting books away. Like, I promise you, they are truly, truly reading, and it is a beautiful thing to see. Oh, you know what? One more thing I'm going to do before I leave is make my Scholastic order, because kids have been asking me. Okay, we're going to keep those there. So I don't need this 2 system anymore, I don't think. I might have the pink bin actually though for Monday, Tuesday book return, and then the yellow bin for Thursday, Friday. That way I return these first, so they do have a few days to quarantine. But clearly, you can see the favorite, the graphic novels. I definitely need to get more. Oh, and the Babysitters Club, my girls are loving these. This is usually full. I just love to see my kids reading and they're like, I finished a book, and they legitimately finished the book, guys. Today at lunch, oh my gosh. So since we eat lunch in the classroom, I usually play, our librarian has been doing read alouds. And so I usually play her read alouds. But today, I didn't, because I had to run to the cafeteria to get an extra lunch or something. It was just wild. So I was like, you guys just talk, like it's lunch. Here's your talking time. And they were finished with their lunch and one of them grabbed their book box and then the next one grabbed their book box. And the next thing I know, they're all just reading. And I'm like, it's lunchtime. I love that you guys are reading, but like, why? And they're like, because we want to read. It's so beautiful. So obviously I was like, okay, then we will read. That is awesome. But I'm gonna head out. It's time for me to go home and get some rest. I did though sleep yesterday from 6 to 8. I took like a 2-hour nap and then I fell asleep at 11. And so I feel so refreshed. And I also had a Diet Dr. Pepper, a large coffee, and a sparkling iced caffeine today. So I'm just feeling great. But yeah, I'll finish up cleaning all this mess up tomorrow. I still haven't done any of the intervention groups or anything extra that I've planned, but that's totally okay because no one else has either. And I'm keeping my kids on track. So I feel like what I'm doing now, I won't feel behind later. So it's going really good. I'm so happy. All right, see you guys tomorrow.